So let's talk about what goes into a detail page view that converts well. And here we have a detail page for one of the books that my company publishes. And the first thing that's most important is the image. You really need to have a professional cover. And actually later on in this totally free masterclass for publishers, I'm going to show you an example of a bad cover. The next thing that's important is the title and the subtitle. And one thing that's really important to pay attention to are the keywords that are used in the title and the subtitle, because that's how most people find books on Amazon. And just to give you one example, let's say you were writing a biography of Winston Churchill, and you use kind of an old school title that you used to see a lot in books and also in newspapers and magazines, kind of clever titles that don't really directly say what it's about. For instance, for Winston Churchill, let's say that your biography title was Lion in Winter, How a Man Saved a Nation. That particular book would not perform well on Amazon because there are no relevant keywords that you can use to find the book. For instance, most people looking for a book about Winston Churchill are going to use Winston Churchill as the first keyword that they look for, as well as terms like biography or maybe UK Prime Minister or something like that. So you need to pay attention to the relevant keywords about your book and make sure that some of them appear in the title. The next thing that comes up is the price. And the price, you have to think about how competitive it is related to other books that people might be browsing, but also you have to consider your audience or your customer. For instance, I've discovered that people who are business customers are more likely to pay a higher price than ordinary consumers, because basically it's their company that's paying for it. The other thing that's really important is Prime. So you want to make sure that your detail page says Prime, that little blue Prime text with the orange check mark there, because people really do look for that. Next, reviews. There should be kind of a critical mass of reviews. I say around 15 or 20 at a minimum. So keep that in mind, and I'll be talking in a little bit about ways to get legitimate reviews for your book. And then also a description and the author info. And the author info, that's actually controlled by the author, or it should be, via the Amazon Author Central. So my author, Michael J. Epstein, Mike, he actually created his own Author Central page, and it looks pretty good. So he has a professional quality photo, and he has other information on there as well. Regarding the description, this is becoming less and less important over time for two reasons. One reason is because A+ content is now available to most publishers, and that is much more eye-catching. The other reason is more people are using mobile devices, and on mobile devices, Amazon highlights the images, including the cover as well as the A+ content. And basically, at the end of the day, you want a detail page view that meets expectations. When a prospective reader comes to the detail page, it looks professional. It has an author bio down here. It has reviews and ratings. The description looks okay. There's A+ content. It's available via Prime. And if it meets expectations, that will go a long way toward converting a browser to a buyer. Now, let's take a look at one of the other books that my company publishes. And we had some problems with this one. And there was a low conversion rate. And basically what was happening was this page was not meeting expectations. This is the mobile app view of the book. But just take a look at this and consider what's missing based on what I just told you before. So there's a couple things that are going on here. One is that this book is not even available as a Kindle book. You can see there's only a paperback. So this is something that I need to look into to find out why the Kindle version is not available. The second thing that's going on here, I'm going to highlight this. It says book 2 of 2. So actually, people coming here might say, oh, it's 2 of 2, so I need to read the first one before I can read that one. So that's something where you might need to do some linking on the back end, either using KDP or some other program in Amazon to make sure that it's correctly showing the books in the right order or something like that. And then finally, the other thing that's missing here is the reviews. There's no reviews for this particular detail page. And actually, when I looked into this particular detail page, I discovered that what was happening was somebody else created a new detail page for my book. Basically, they said they had a new copy and they were trying to sell it, and it wasn't linked up with the original version of my detail page, which has reviews and does have the Kindle version. So I had to tell Amazon to merge that. So these are some of the things that might crop up if you are evaluating your detail page and you're trying to optimize it.
That wasn't so hard, was it? There are many more videos in the totally free Amazon Masterclass. They're totally free. You don't have to pay anything. There's no gimmick or anything like that. So watch them at your leisure, skip around, and also be sure to like it if it helps you out. Thank you so much for watching.